Now, a lot of French papers obviously are reacting to the speech by President Bashar al-Assad made yesterday in Damascus, in the Opera House.
That's right. It's on the front page of Libération, the left-leaning newspaper, that says, Le bourreau sans tête. So I guess you could translate that as the executioner stubbornly bogs himself down. And Libération, in their editorial, they call Bashar al-Assad a murderer, and they say that he's worse than Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Mubarak. At the end of their regimes, he's worse than all these other dictators. And according to Libération, he's perfected the role of the unwavering autocrat, and he's doing so with astonishing ease. And Libération says that, unfortunately, this mad determination of his means that the Syrian people are going to suffer for the months to come. And Libération says that the only reason, really, why he can continue talking this way is because he has two allies that have got his back, China and Russia. And Libération is very critical of China and Russia for what they call, it says that they're causing the situation in Syria to rot.
And Libération is also looking at the rise of jihadists among the ranks of Syrian rebels.
That's right. According to an article in Libération, there's several thousand of them that are across Syria now. Libération does point out that they're a minority and they're very discreet, but you can find them on the front line. You can recognize them because of their bushy beards, but also because their weapons are reportedly in much better condition than a lot of other fighters. Now, on top of Syrians, there are Egyptians, Tunisians, Libyans, as well as reportedly some Westerners as well. Now, most of them belong to the al-Nusra Front, which is an offshoot of al-Qaeda. And Libération says that their aim is to topple Bashar al-Assad and put a caliphate in his place.
The U.S. put al-Nusra on their terror list.
Absolutely, that's right. And that's one of the reasons why Libération says that they have a very tricky relationship with the Free Syrian Army, which on the one hand, sometimes they have joint operations, but occasionally they fight as well. So Libération points out that they'll definitely complicate whatever comes after Bashar al-Assad.
All right, there's another story, of course, that's getting a lot of attention in the French press. Gérard Depardieu, Russian citizen.
That's right, and he is on the cover of Aujourd'hui en France today, displaying his new Russian passport and wearing a very traditional Russian garb there.
His latest role, you might say.
Latest role, maybe
citizen,
he's practicing, yeah. Exactly. Now, he was got a hero's welcome by Vladimir Putin and was treated by like a demigod, according to Aujourd'hui en France. They wonder, though, this was so surreal. Was this real? Was this a film? What happened? Now, on top of that, the governor of the region of Mordovia has invited Depardieu to live there. And Aujourd'hui en France investigates a little bit further, investigates what might be his new homeland. Now, he'll have some rather unusual neighbors because Mordovia isn't known so much for its tourist sites as for its prisons. And in fact, one of the women from the band Pussy Riot is being held in this prison. Now, there's the same photo of Gérard Depardieu on the front page of Le Figaro today.
But they've got a totally different take on it.
They've got a different take on it. They say their editorial is called Laughing Stock, but they're not talking about Depardieu, they're talking about France. According to Le Figaro, Putin and Depardieu are making France the laughingstock of the world. And Le Figaro says that Depardieu has many reasons to really like his adoptive land. It's a wonderful country with a fascinating culture, and especially it's got this 13% tax rate. Le Figaro does point out, however, that things aren't quite as rosy as Depardieu described them in a letter last week where he was saying that Russia was a great democracy. But they say that in a way, reality doesn't matter. The damage is already done. And this big hug that Putin and Depardieu gave, it might be a farce, but what it really does is expose the absurdity of François Hollande's tax policy, according to Le Figaro.
Well, tax policy has been making the news here in France, and it's on the front page of the business daily Les Echos.
Les Echos, they're calling it le casse-tête du gouvernement, so the government's brain teaser or puzzle, the 75%. Now, this was from one of François Hollande's campaign promises. He wanted to champion social justice by putting in place this 75% tax rate for individuals who make more than 1 million euros. But last month, the France's Constitutional Council deemed that it was unconstitutional. So Les Echos says, what is the government going to do now? According to Les Echos, the government is going to completely change this tax plan from A to Z. They point out that the budget minister, Jérôme Cahuzac, yesterday, he implicitly said that 75% was too high and it needs to be changed. So perhaps this will be a reason for Depardieu to come back to France. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, Florence Villemot, thank you very much. And we'll have you later on this morning with another look at the press. Thanks. The 5 men charged with the gang rape and murder of a student in New Delhi appear in court for the